It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Good morning, this is City Beat. I'm Matthew Higgs, and joining me in studio is always Mayor Fenske. Thank you again for coming in.
Thank you.
Right before the show started, we got a few questions actually from a caller, mostly about line painting in front of Cree Road.
Sure. So the line painting has just been completed by the contractor throughout the city, and specifically the question, there was two questions. One question in regards to the turning arrows that have been added at the south lane on the outside curb lane in front of Kentucky Fried Chicken. So you're turning right from Cree Road onto Thompson Drive. So the reason that is because at that point it's a 4-lane, and as you go through the lights, it reduces to a 2-lane. So the outside turning lane is specifically for that, is for right turn. So the inside lane, the center lane, is for going straight through, continuing south on Cree Road, or turning left onto Thompson Drive. On the south portion of Cree Road, beyond the Co-op gas bar, going to Weir Road, that's designated a 2-lane, and both those issues were discussed at length at the Public Works meeting as recent as last week, and so I'm not surprised by the question, but just for clarification, it was discussed at least 3 times at the Public Works Committee meeting, and the recommendation was to paint the 4 lanes for Cree Road and make it 2 lanes for Cree Road South beyond Thompson Co-op, and that's the direction provided to administration, and that's what was done.
He was also asking about painted lines just in the city in general, but I think I've seen them going out there and paint some lines this summer, right?
Yes, we were delayed. They were supposed to be here in late June, early July. We had some weather issues, so they have returned. It's a contractor that's hired by the province of Manitoba, and then we jump in on the contract when they do highways. And so we had them up last week, and they've completed their lines. We're continuing our own crosswalk painting, which is our job to do through Public Works. So basically, the internal lines for the city are completely completed, and we'll continue with crosswalk painting to get those finished up prior to school in September.
Okay, the province announced a new funding application process, which will help municipalities like ours apply for funding for planned projects through a streamlined process. Kelly Bindle is pleased with the announcement, and there has been an application process for single window intake for 4 grant programs. What do you think of the process, and will the city be using it in the next month?
Yes to both questions. It's a good process. It shortens the application from 4 separate applications to 1. And secondly, we have used it in the past. We've obtained funds, $400,000 through one granting for roads work, which we're actually starting next week. So the process, understanding that this year is the first year of the new government, and the window was short. It was only announced on August, I believe, 25th, with a deadline on August 26th. So we've already budgeted and made application for the road work, and we will continue to make applications next year for continuous work. So overall, it's a good announcement, and we, as the City of Thompson, always take full advantage of the grants that are out there.
It's officially tax season, and the tax bills have been sent out. When is the due date, and how can people pay for their taxes?
Property taxes are due and payable September 30th at City Hall, and everyone should have received their property tax bill by this time. If they haven't, they can contact City Hall at 677-7920. And they can get their tax bill sent to them if they haven't already. Again, due date is September 30th, and that includes, the tax bill is composed of 3 components: the education support levy from the province of Manitoba, the levy from the school district of Mr. Lake, and the levy from the city of Thompson.
There are a few vacant business buildings around town. How does that affect what we pay on tax day?
It really has no effect. It would have effect on the individual owners of those properties, but basically the vacancies are I guess has to do with the owner of the specific building. So that may or may affect their individual tax bills, but overall, as a ratepayer in Thompson, it has no effect.
I think we got a follow-up question about that Cree Road thing we were talking about at the start. When did it go from 4-lane to 2-lane?
From my knowledge, it's always been 2 lanes. There's discrepancies on that. I've been here since 1961, and so again, people have various opinions, and they're entitled to them. We've painted it the last number of years as a 2-lane, and so basically we're following that protocol. And again, it was discussed fully at the Public Works Committee meeting, and the direction was provided to paint the 4 lanes from Thompson Drive, basically at the Mystery Lake Hotel to Thompson Drive at the Kentucky Fried Chicken outlet as 4 lanes, and then go to 2 lanes for the remainder of Cree Road going south to Weir Road.
Construction is going to start next week on Cree Road. Can you let the public know what is going on in that construction process?
Sure, there's 2 things being done. One, the multi-use path is being completed from the corner of Deerwood and Cree Road to the Thompson Drive and Cree Road intersection. So the sidewalks will be replaced with the multi-use path. So that'll complete the inside loop of the multi-use path. The second part is the road work, and we've got a small patch of asphalt to put in from the corner of Deerwood Drive and Cree past the St. Lawrence Church to Fox Bay that we weren't able to complete last year. So we'll complete that, and then we'll move over to Selkirk Avenue, where the water main renewal program is on right now. Once they've completed their connections, which they're working on right now, and just as a note, Selkirk Avenue is closed at this point for them for those connections to be made from Cree Road around to the Plaza parking lot entrance at the one-way, it used to be the one-way lane. It's 2 ways for construction period right now. So that's where the second asphalt project will be held this summer.
How long will this construction process take, you think?
We're hoping that the asphalt will be done within 2 weeks. So starting next week, it should be done by the end of August.
Okay. A meeting of council is set to take place on Monday, so you get to see all your great friends again, first time in a month. What is on the agenda next week?
Basically, the agenda will be available tomorrow at 4 o'clock online at thompson.ca, hard copy at City of Thompson. Generally, there's a few letters from ministers in regards to grant announcements and regular flow-through grants that we're having. There's a presentation from our safety department in regards to the community safety officer program, and I think there's a couple of resolutions as well. So all in all, the actual agenda will be available 4 o'clock on Friday, online, thompson.ca, or in person at City Hall.
Manitoba government has pledged $9 million to go to Churchill Observatory for Marine Life. It will create a few jobs, but it won't exactly fix the problem that Omnitrax left when they left Churchill. But one of the things is that there's going to be more tourism coming up there now with the observatory, and a lot of it goes through Thompson. It's kind of like the last stop before Churchill. And I was at the Chamber of Commerce meeting last week, and they had said they have trouble bringing the people in that stay out at the airport and train station. How do you intend to bring people into the city for tourism? Well,
I think there's just an enhancement of the local businesses and the local tour operators, and it's an awareness program of a lot of people when they come to the train or arrive in Thompson via the train from Winnipeg aren't aware of what's available to us, or to them, I say, for their time frame, whether it's a 4-hour layover or whether it's a 2-day layover. So it's a matter of working with the Chamber of Commerce and the tour operators within our community. There is some signage going up in the train station parking lot outlining a few things, so that'll help. But overall, it's a position of awareness and making people aware of what's available in Thompson that they can take advantage of during their layovers.
And any updates on the Churchill situation?
We met with the working group met with Minister Baines last week he's the federal minister in regards to the Port of Churchill. We had a good meeting, and we're looking forward to working on the solutions. Two solutions basically. One is the priorities to save the grain season for this year. And secondly is to increase the rail transportation. They reduced the freight from 2 a week to 1 a week, so to hopefully get that back and to save the operation of the Port of Churchill.
We got a technical question. Sure. Did you guys anticipate or know about City Hall becoming a Pokemon Go hotspot?
No, we didn't. We were as surprised as everyone else, in a good way, because I remember the first time I saw it. We had a meeting that night, and I wondered to myself what was on the agenda that brought all these young people out to City Hall. and realizing, and I was disappointed that they weren't coming upstairs to sit in on the City Hall meeting, but I was glad to see that there was lots of people out walking around. I do caution people that to beware, and you've seen stories all over Canada and the world in regards to trespassing onto private property and that, but certainly encourage those that are involved with Pokemon. Again, I'm of a generation that I know nothing about it, but I encourage it. It looks like it's getting people out walking and off the couch, so that's a good thing. But again, respect privacy of individuals' property.
Well, we already went through the fact that your starter Pokemon's Charmander too, though.
That's
so
right.
That is true.
That's true.
And don't drive when you're playing Pokemon Go as well.
Absolutely not.
But speaking of driving, there have been a lot of complaints of ATV vehicles or dirt bikes on the main roads. What is the law in the city about that?
We actually have a bylaw in place for ATV use and snowmobile use in the wintertime. There are access points and trails throughout the city to get out of the city. We encourage everyone to use those lawfully and safely. Where you're close to them and not actually on them, we advise you to, again, safely get to the point of access and then head out of town so you can enjoy your ATV or your snowmobile in the wintertime. We are an active community. And also, just again, be aware of private property. There are designated routes. Stay off of private property. And there's actually more damage caused by ATVs than snowmobiles, just because of the nature of the beast. But so I would encourage everyone to operate their ATVs safely, follow the rules of the road and our bylaw, and also to stay off of private property.
And last question, the Manitoba Games have been going on, and congratulations to everyone who has competed so far and who has won medals, and we have won a few. But have you been watching the other summer games?
Both, actually. Congratulations to our two local kids that won medals at the Manitoba Summer Games. And in the other games, congratulations to our Winnipeg swimmer that was part of the 4x1 relay swim team that won a bronze medal. Watched intensely the game between Australia and the Americans for basketball. Australians did a great job, almost beat them. As far as Canada is concerned, shout out to all the women on the team. It's 60% made up of women, and they have 100% of the medals. So good job on all of the Canadian athletes, but especially great job for our Canadian women doing so well at the games in Rio.
What sport has interested you the most actually during this process?
I like to watch the basketball myself, and I'm looking forward to the track and field this weekend.
Exactly. I'm excited for that too. But thanks for coming in once again. That's it for this edition of City Beat. Make sure to join us every Thursday at 11:30 to find out what's happening around the city and City Hall. For 1029 CHTM, I'm Matthew Higgs.
City Beat will be back next Thursday morning at